GBHL James here from the GBHL YouTube channel, bringing you some Hobbit strategy battle game news updates. These updates are with regards to the January releases. We have some leaked White Dwarf images which have come from an Italian forum, I believe. First of all, this is my first video since Christmas, so I hope you have all had a fantastic Christmas and I wish you all the best in 2014. Now, during this video I'm going to put up some images of the releases. If you want this to be a big surprise, turn off this video now, because in 3, 2, 1, it's going to be the Laketown releases by the looks of it, and this includes the Laketown Guard models, a Bard pose, and I'll go into a little bit more detail about that very soon, a new Gandalf by the looks of it, and also Alfred and the Master of Laketown and the Captain of the Guard. Now, we've got quite a little bit to discuss here. First of all, I'm going to put up some images of the actual guard models themselves. Now, these are things that you've already seen. You'll have seen them when we reviewed the Desolation of Smaug source book, when we got the full release there. And we think that these are gorgeous models. You know, they're lots and lots of detail, and they look great. And Jamie and I were even thinking about putting together a bit of a Laketown / Dale army for the channel specifically, something a little bit different, and maybe working in partnership with Deadmar Spectre and UK Freddy Bear of Shadow and Flame to get these guys painted up and get them in some battle reports for you. However, as you're going to see in this next picture, there is some potential bad news with that. Games Workshop, by the looks of things, have decided to release these miniatures in a clamp pack, a Finecast clamp pack, of 3 models per pack. So 3 swordsmen, 3 spearmen in another pack, and 3 bowmen in another pack by the looks of it. Why do I look so disappointed? This is terrible, terrible news. I'm usually so positive about everything to do with The Hobbit, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you make a cheap horde-based troop, which is cheap and not particularly great, into an expensive Finecast clamp pack? We've got a price here underneath and it says €20. Now, €20 on the European sites usually translates into being about £15. So we're looking at about £5 per model. So that's €80 or £60 just to get a warband of these Laketown Guard. Now, it doesn't matter how gorgeous these sculpts are, this is going to be really difficult to do. I mean, the only thing I can liken it to maybe is people who collected hobbits, metal hobbits, because obviously that's a horde-based army, and that would have been quite expensive to do. But I just don't see the reasoning with this. Why would they do such a thing? Why Games Workshop? This is not good news, and it is going to upset a lot of people that you're not going to be able to buy a plastic box of even 10 of these guys. What I'm expecting to see are lots of people buying the plastic boxes of Warriors of Dale and using those instead, and maybe doing a bit of converting or just a different paint job and making them Laketown Guard, because it's going to be very expensive to make an army of these, and it's such a shame because they are gorgeous looking models. What do you think? I'm pretty sure that all of you agree with me. This is a crazy, crazy decision. I wouldn't worry too much about the future with all of this. Remember when it was supposed to be 2 movies, a lot of things that were going to be would have been Finecast anyway would have already been lined up. Whether that would have been these guys, I don't know. But the trend of Games Workshop has been that they're moving to plastic, and with Toriel and Legolas, with them becoming plastic, you know, that's hopefully a good thing, and it's happening in Warhammer Fantasy Battle Game, and is it Warhammer Fantasy Battle Game? And Warhammer 40k. There's a big move away from Finecast to plastic. So hopefully this isn't the future of our hobby. Finecast troops. That's not good. The next image I'm going to put up is, well, you'll be able to see on the same image, there is a new Gandalf pose. Now, Gandalf probably has the most poses out of anyone from The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, and lots of people will probably be saying we don't need a new Gandalf pose. But it's a gorgeous looking figure, and why not? Why not? He is the main dude, especially if you've read the books and the appendices. He's the guy that makes everything happen for the side of good. And this pose looks fantastic. It looks like he is... maybe that's when he meets Bilbo. Not meets Bilbo, but when he approaches Bilbo and asks him to share with him in an adventure. It's that kind of pose. So maybe some nice Hobbit dioramas. Maybe we could do something like that with the Hobbit holes that we are receiving from Adam of Greenleaf Terrain, hopefully soon. Keep my fingers crossed. So we're going to move on to the next image, and the next one, and this is probably going to be the only one I'm going to get right away, is going to be the Bard. Now, the interesting thing about this Bard image that you can see now, it's a gorgeous sculpt, by the way. It looks brilliant up there on the rock with his bow. Looks fantastic. I remember this. It looks a little bit like when you first meet Bard in the movie by the river, and he's pointing the great bow down on the dwarves. The interesting thing is that this isn't the Bard pose that we saw in the Desolation of Smaug, which means that maybe we're getting more than one Bard pose, which I think is a good thing. He's a cracking character in the movie, and he's obviously going to, for those of you who don't know the Hobbit storyline, going to play a big role in the Battle of Five Armies. But I'm pleased with this. He looks pretty great, I have to say. Next up, we've got the guard captain and the images of Alfred and the Master of Laketown. Now, we've already seen these images, so that's nothing new there. The big bit of news really is the decision to make the Guards of Laketown, or Laketown Guards, into 3 model Finecast clamp packs, probably going to be about £15 each. That is not great news. Let us know what your opinions are. Games Workshop, shame on you. Come on, plastic box sets. We're happy with that. Don't go for Finecast troops. Not happy with that at all. So sorry for a little bit more of a negative message, especially so close to New Year's Eve. But wanted to get the discussion going and see what you guys think about this decision. And I'm pretty sure you'll all agree with me. Not a good move. What I suggest that you all do is you buy Warriors of Dale instead and give them a bit of a different paint job and effectively proxy them in. I'm pretty sure no one would mind seeing how much these guys cost. So as always, guys, continue to support your Hobbit hobby and maybe buy some of these other heroes instead of that, because I just can't see it. Cheap horde troops, Finecast, expensive. It doesn't weigh up. What you doing? Happy strategy battle gaming, guys.